moving on. What's one thing that you wish you could change about the film?
I would change the casting of Kitty and the
Hmm.
casting of the rock star. I thought those two. I would, I thought I know, Max Baker. I think is the actor's name. I know he's in other Ed Burns movies, and he's a fine actor, but I just don't think he was cast correctly as the rock star.
Hmm.
And Kitty, you're going. I mean, I know he has a picture of Kitty, and you see, the picture a couple times, but in my mind, I had something. Kitty didn't just physically didn't make me, because you don't really get to know her as a person, not really. So basically, physically, she needs to knock you out. Why would he
Hmm.
come all the way down here, chase her through the cities, hire a detective for a plain Jane looking girl with no personality?
Yeah, and I was gonna say plain acting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my take on it. But, he's doing all these things. So, in my opinion, I was thinking she would be a knockout, or it doesn't, not, it doesn't have to be a traditional knockout, but or like a quirky, knockout, like I don't know, I can't think of anyone right off, but something maybe like the Brittany Murphy character from Sidewalks of New York,
Sidewalks. Mm.
something like that. But I didn't care for that character, either one of those characters.
She was not attractive, like you said. And that's not, like you said, it's not visuals. It's even it's person. Like nothing about her was like,
Nothing. Nothing. Why
yeah.
why would he I would be like, okay, good, she's gone. She's gone.
And you know what the crazy thing was? At the end of the film, I didn't care much for her at all. I thought that dude wasted his time. But I actually kind of liked Ron Stewart. I was
Oh,
like, he's he's very simple, but he's bubbly. He gets excited about things. He has a lot of energy. He has a lot of passion. I
yeah.
was like, he's a pretty cool guy. Like, again, I think that if that's what you were trying to do as
Right.
a filmmaker, then Max Baker, I think, was a good pick. But
Right.
if you were trying to make me not like the guy, then I don't think it was a good pick.
Because he's a friendly guy. Because he gets super excited about what the comic books, and
Yeah,
then what R2D2, is that what he
yeah,
orders?
like a replica of R2D2,
Yeah, and he
which
is
is
passionate about that as well.
yeah, which I'm like, okay, I'm not into Star Wars, and and the culture, that culture back then was a little bit different than it is now. I mean, nowadays Star Wars is like the coolest thing in the world,
Yeah, yeah. It
but
had died off a little bit then.
yeah, but I
It died
just,
down.
and that's the way I felt about what I would have changed is Chris Parnell's character. I,
Oh,
he just comes out of nowhere. He's a complete jerk for no good reason. Like, I don't understand why he's a jerk. I don't understand why he's as bad as he is. Like, he's just a terrible human being. But it's like, why?
yeah.
Why?
Because he's in that bathtub and he gets really mean on the phone.
Yeah,
Hangs doesn't he hang up?
yeah, cussing him out, like doing rude gestures, and it's like, but see, here's the crazy thing: when you go and meet Ron Stewart, he's actually, to me, was a decent guy. So I'm like, Chris Parnell's
Why is
character,
this guy even representing?
yeah, what?
I see
Yeah,
what you mean.
and as a story function, why would he be there? Like, why is he representing
Yeah.
him in the story? Maybe he does in real life, but that doesn't further the story at all.
Right. Right.
So,
Because it really didn't at all, did it? It didn't really forward anything much.
no, not really. All he was just kind of a stepping stone to get to the next point. So anyway, I would have changed his character, done something. I would have made his character a little bit more likable, I think, which would have made that a little bit more complicated. Um, so what did you think about
Right.
the
True.
the arc of the main characters? And let's call this kind of a dual main character because you're gonna have two, so you can pick one or the other or both.
The character arc of um what's his name? Finocchio.
Abe
Is that what he keeps calling him?
Abe
Abe Fionico?
he calls
Fionico?
him Finocchio, but his name is
Abe Fionico?
yeah.
So Abe, I think that deep down, Abe went looking for his wife. Was she his wife? Is
Yeah.
that? But I think he already basically knew who she was with, because he gives the picture of the article, and I just think he comes to terms that, you know, that this has happened.
Mhm.
This is how his life. I think he already knew going down to get the detective. I think he deep down knew what he later accepted by the end of the film. I think he accepted with Kitty in his life because she wasn't into baseball at all. She was into the rock star stuff right away. If his passion is baseball and he doesn't know anything about the rock stars and vice versa, that's not going to match up at all.
Yeah.
That's not going to match up. And I think he was lonely as well because you have to think baseball season's over.
Mhm.
So what's he really got to do? Now, early on in the film, Ed Burns says, I don't want a partner. Why don't you go back up there and start in the baseball season? But I'm thinking he's outside shivering. So it's got to be
Mhm.
too cold. They've got winter coats. So it has to be too cold for baseball to start.
And they mentioned Christmas. Rachel Dratch says Christmas in New York.
Oh,
So
so
yeah.
it's around Christmas time then. So, I think he just made an inward journey. Well, I think both characters did really within themselves to he came to accept that his wife has pretty much basically left him for someone else, and he's okay with it now because he knows he can continue. And I think that he feels that he has a friend in Ed Burns' character. What was his character's name?
Jack Staten.
Yeah, and I think he made a little bit of a journey as well because if you listen to the commentary, Ed Burns mentions about there was a side plot about he does like this and starts crying and he says that's some of the worst acting you'll ever see. I remember him saying that, and he said, "Bub, we got the shot, and there it was, something like that."
I was gonna mention that wasn't the best acting he's ever done.
So so he kind of makes a journey because it's a small plot in the movie, but his wife has passed on, and he keeps the box of her stuff. Is that what it was that he's crying
Yeah,
about
like
in the closet?
memorabilia. Yeah.
And by the end, I think the neighbor Connie Britton, her character, she moves in next door. Him and her, it kind of hints that a relationship, or at least a friendship, is going to
Mhm.
blossom. I mean, you don't really know; it's open. So I think he's made a journey. I think they've both made a journey of acceptance. You know, of the both wives. One being dead, one running off, and I think by the end of the journey, they've come to accept and maybe get on with their life because both of their lives are really going nowhere.
Mhm.
So that was my
Yeah.
long-winded explanation.